Hello, you guys. Welcome back to another podcast episode on this channel. Thank you for joining me, whether you are returning or new here. Hello, 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 hello. Today, I want to just talk about me reflecting on my love life. I don't even want to be low key get into that thing, because why do people always say when you turn 25, that quarter life, that brain developing? Like, even though I'm 23, I still got 2 years. Just I feel like as you get older, you date different people, you go through bad relationships, you look back and you're like, girl, what are you doing? You learn more and more what you don't want and like and what you can do different and all that. And I just had this realization the other day. Now, I don't know if it's the timing of things. I was not expecting to get hit with so many emotions like I did recently. If you guys aren't new here, or I don't know how anyone would know this, but I talked about a little bit on my Instagram that I recently just hit 3 years free from my abusive relationship. Shout out to me. Shout out to you. Anyone else who, is out of a dangerous situation, a situation that doesn't make them feel good, I'm so proud of you. And I remember last year around 2 years, not really thinking much of it. And I didn't even remember the date like that, but I kind of had a day where I had a lot of anxiety, and then I realized oh, this is why body's feeling like a threat. It's remembering the timelines, whatever. And it was just this thing, right? I got pretty emotional, which I didn't expect to get, because like I said, I don't remember feeling like this at 2 years. But again, it had me reflecting on how much work I've done in the past 3 years, how different I am, how much I've learned all these things. And I came to this one conclusion, that I've seen a little bit of a consistency in my adult relationships, because I've had 4 relationships, okay? My first relationship was high school. It was 3 months. It wasn't that deep. Second one, if y'all probably seen the Dating the Boy Who Don't Like Me, that was the first time I loved a boy. I was 18. I was a freshman in college. And I was an adult. And, I did a lot of adult things and had my first in that. But even when I look back at that as a 23-year-old, it kind of looks and those feelings and emotions were 100% real. But it was also a lot of innocence and attachment, where it's that was an adult relationship. But at the same time, I barely got my license. I hadn't worked a job before, But the past 2 relationships, one I had from 19 to 20, and then the guy I dated for a little bit at 22, it's I had some responsibility. I had some thinking about my future. I had some actual, adult mindset of things, and also being more realistic about things and my future and all these things. And I realized a theme in a lot of my adult relationships, even sometimes these short little talking stages I be telling you guys too about. I don't know if it's just the welcoming vibe. I like making people feel safe, calm, related. I don't know. I don't know if it's just that, but I realized in my 2 adult relationships that I always played a certain role that I think a lot of people can relate to. I always tie it back to the patriarchy, because a lot of times society deems women as the people who are supposed to carry everything, make it better, support him through it. You gotta support him at it. A lot of times they like to push that role onto us, like the people is our fault somehow. But people in general do it to each other. I probably had moments of putting too much on my partners in different relationships, and it's a human experience. But for me, I'm in my adult relationships, I have been so drained, and it's always been this person is terrible. Bad qualities, in a bad place, very harmful, does not match my emotional maturity, my kindness, my reciprocation does not match these things. But because they see my emotional maturity, my kindness, my nurturing, my patience, which is so funny because I'm not an impatient person. I am an impatient person, but somehow I begin so patient for these niggas. And no, not anymore. Well, I wasn't too patient with the last one, but they see that and it's like I feel like they want to take so much. Like in both adult relationships, I felt so much responsibility for the other person. Like, I love this person. Of course I care. And some of them were in situations that I couldn't relate to, right? Like when I was, what happens a lot, but not always, because some people learn from their environments. I know people personally who have, you know how, okay, I'm gonna get into one relationship about the person who was abusing me also came from an abusive household. And people say, like, yeah, that's how it goes. I'm done making excuses for men because I also know men in real life who came from abusive households and were not abusive and did not abuse women. So that's not an excuse to me. But I dated someone like that and I felt like I couldn't relate to that. My parents they protected me, they made me feel safe. My childhood was very happy. I started having problems when I turned into an adult and when I started dating you, but so I can relate to that. I also had another adult relationship with someone who carried so much trauma, not a lot of family support, dealt with so much abuse and hardships and being by themselves and mental health issues. Like it was both these people who like I couldn't personally relate to all of their trauma, but like I love so much and like, well, I can't relate and I love them and I just want to make them feel better. And so people take advantage of people who want to help you. Like it's so like, I don't want to make it sound like transactional, but at the same time, relationships are very transactional. Maybe this is why I keep seeing that consistent in my adult relationships because, yeah, people are supposed to support your kindness or you're willing to try. Because obviously, if you see my story time, it's people in real life who've dated me, who know how I am. Obviously, am I so like nice and balanced and chill toned all the time? No, I'm a human. I raise my voice sometimes. I, feel overwhelmed. All those things. But especially when it comes to men in relationships, I'm so soft with the like, even though I'm irritated, I still want to communicate with you. I still want to like be gentle with you and all these things. And I feel like I've dated people who just like do not reciprocate that. Like, yes, 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 me. And what's even more trifling that I think a lot of people can relate to too is dating people like that where like you're so kind and patient with them and they're not the same with you. But anytime you recoil your kindness and patience for a little bit, they're like, how dare you? How dare you? Again, like I kind of feel like it's the male audacity, especially with women. Like, how dare you not going to put up with and not be patient with me this time? Like, how dare you? Because it's expected. So that's my whole thing is like, in my adult relationships, I feel like I've carried the burden for these two men so much. Like from my abuser literally just flat out telling me he feels this way about himself because of me and I'm responsible for when he's happy and unhappy. Like someone who was anxiously attached to me and emotionally abusing me to then sexually abusing me. And I still felt like such the bad guy in that relationship when I'm literally the victim. To the last relationship, again, of like a very short, new lived relationship. If you guys have seen the very ghetto Valentine's Day and other story times like that, of again, someone so new and seeing like, oh, she's so sweet and kind and just wants to help and make me feel better when I know a lot of other girls would not put up with this dishonesty. They would not put up with these mood swings. They would not put up with someone who doesn't have their basic needs, especially not someone his age, because that man was 5 years older than me. But we'll get into that too. And he saw that and he would say how he really appreciated that. And then he would just take and take and take and expect so much. And I think I'm done with these niggas expecting so much from me. Like it's exhausting. Like I said, there's things, obviously relationships honestly are transactional. There is some stuff that is the bare minimum that you should expect, okay? You should expect, I mean, depending on, hey, we don't judge around here, depending on your relationship dynamics, but I'm a, monogamous, my man person, okay? Don't play. You should expect loyalty, honesty, emotional intelligence, not abuse. Like there's like bottom lines that you should expect, and it's so crazy how I'm like, I dealt with men who couldn't even give me that, but expected that tenfold. And I see why, especially like I said, getting hit with all these emotions of being 3 years post my abuser. But I've been in these past 3 years, I've been in one other relationship that was very short lived. It was like 4 or 5 months. So majority is 3 years, I've been by myself, right? And I can see, especially in the past year, why I've been so exhausted and so okay with that. Because it's like, I don't have people draining the life out of me, expecting this, expecting my kindness and all that, when they are not returning it tenfold. And it really like, it made me like sad to think about, and to think about like my past self and just like my soul and what I like to offer people. Because I know a lot of times in this, like again, the transactional dating, there's a lot of things where it's like, this is what you should expect, right? There's a lot of things like people say that you shouldn't expect from people that I think you should expect, right? I've literally had story times on here of like, I've had more than one talking stage, like, drop some of their lore, drop some of their trauma that they've never shared with anyone. And a lot of people would be like, why is someone who hasn't even met you yet, or they're like, why would they do that? That's so weird. I don't think that's weird. Like, I don't think sometimes people need to talk to people. And like, yeah, I might be a new person, but I'm here. We could talk about it. Like, there's some things where I'm just like, people are human. I'm not like you have to earn my respect. You have to earn those things. Obviously, depends on what you have the capacity for, but I did not mind moments like that and comforting men and validating their feelings and their trauma. Like, it's just like human things, but there's a lot of people that are like, that's crazy. If someone did that to me too early, I would block them, blah, blah, blah. But I also think I'm like, well, is that the problem? Is that my problem, that I don't think stuff like that is such a big deal, and that I'm so willing to like play the therapist so early that like, that's why people just like to take and take and take? Part of me thinks that's my problem, but then part of me is like, it's also not. Because like I said, people are lonely and people need to talk to people and to not feel judged. Y'all, I literally have a story time of a man coming out to me. He's never came out to anyone in his life. Like a guy I was talking to who came out to me as bi. And again, a lot of people were like, that's some crazy stuff to drop on you in the beginning. Why the not? I'm not a homophobic bitch. I felt really honored that someone was okay to tell me that. Like, and also I don't think, I know there's a whole conversation about like, some people think you're this and you're that if you wouldn't want to date a bi person. I'm not gonna lie, I would date a bi person, but if girls don't want to, I also don't think that makes you homophobic. That's the whole thing. But my thing is also like, no, because the world needs kindness. It needs people who aren't going to judge and who are going to validate their human experience. And like, I'm totally okay with, again, making people feel comfortable. Sometimes I'm like, is that the problem that I'm doing that too early? But then also I'm like, no, the problem is not what I'm doing and me being nice and kind and welcoming to people. It's people who are taking and not returning. That's the issue. Like, the issue is not on my actions, it's on other people's. And while that's like liberating to know like that part is not about me, it's also very frustrating because when it's on other people's actions, I can't control them. I can only control what I do, which is like obvious. So, like, trust me, I've been through it. I've been through times, my first heartbreak, I've lost my mind over, man. Like, I've been through times of me being like, I should stop being so nice and so welcoming, because why do I feel like it's never returned, and a panic attack. Trust me, I've had plenty of those moments. But because I also, a lot of times when we think that and we think that's like gonna protect ourselves and like, you know, like boundary setting, like just protecting ourselves, we think again that that can do something, but also no amount of boundary, no amount of self-reflection is going to control how someone else acts. So I just feel like that's kind of scary. Because, like I said, we know that a lot of men, people in general, love to play the part. They're really good actors at the beginning, like, oh yeah, of course you could come to me for everything. Of course, you blah 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 blah. There's so many things, but at the end of the day, I still just have to keep being me and experiencing people. And at the end of the day, I'm just gonna see again if I'm end up in another relationship where it's like I'm just needed and burdened so much and I don't get to exist. It's just on the other person, on me. And I mean, obviously, again, my brain is developing. I know more signs, like how early I left my last relationship, that I don't think I could like find myself dealing with it so long. But again, it's like, you never know. Like, guys, do you understand what I'm saying? Like to be in a partnership, in a relationship, is obviously to depend on your partner at times. Things are going to happen. You're going to go through loss, triggers, trauma are going to come up. Like, stuff is bound to come up in relationships that you guys help each other through, that you guys want to make, you know, yourselves feel better and emotionally fulfill each other. And I don't think that's a bad thing when some people are like, you can't depend on someone for that at all. Like, well, no. Like when you love someone and this is going to be a thing, like, yeah, like the people in your life are there to help you out. But I'm in such fear of, again, being the person where it's just like, I need you to do this. I need you to make me feel better. I need you to help me through this. I need. That I feel like I'm so used to like burying my own stuff. Like even, I think a lot of people who go through SA can also relate to this, is like, even when I was in that relationship where I was being assaulted and stuff, I was like, I had a post relationship reaction to that. Like I lost I lost my mind and started having panic attacks and stuff like that, like 4 months post it. Like in it, I feel like I didn't even have time to address or deal with like, oh, this is what's happening to me. Like subconsciously I knew, but I was so used to walking on eggshells, trying to avoid it. Again, trying to make my abuser happy, and because I've always felt like such a bad guy, that it's like, you know. And in the other relationship, again, because I hate this, like, but what if someone else is going through something worse? This is how my last relationship treated me. Like, dare I say, if you'll see the story times, yeah, that was a lot. That is a lot for a person mentally. But also, like, why choose to enter a partnership like that if you don't have the capacity for me too? Like, you're not the only one sad. You're not the only one in recovery. You're not the only one with traumas. But I'll be treated like, seriously, like you want to compare? It's like me. I don't have the emotional capacity for you because me. Again, and for someone that early, why are we? I seen a beautiful TikTok of a guy talking about his fiance the other day. And this will relate. How he was talking about how like he's so in love with this girl who's like borderline misandrist. Doesn't need anything from his, is just so in herself. He's just so infatuated with her and how she moves and all that, where he's like, I'm like engaged to this girl and I don't want anything from her but for her to just get her goals, be happy, like with her and with me. Like he's like, I just need her to like exists and do her thing. Like, yes, it's a relationship, but almost like if it was someone that you weren't in a relationship with, where you're like, yeah, I wish them well, I wish them to get their goals and just like happiness. He's like, that is all I want, like out of my beautiful fiance. And I'm like, ooh, not me getting emotional because I feel like no one's ever thought that way about me. And I realized that is exactly how I want to feel. A lot of people say that, like, oh, I just want your happiness. I just want the best for you. But no, you don't. If you just take, no, you don't. And so I literally came up with this term when I was like writing a couple notes on how I feel, where I was like, I'm so sick of being like wanted and needed and responsible for people's happiness and next steps and all that, where I'm like, I just want to exist in a relationship and be fully seen. Like, no falling in love. Falling don't even sound good. Like, it doesn't even sound good. Like, I want to just like exist and actually have someone just be happy for me and listen to me and not expect so much out of me, which like I said, I'm going to give regardless cuz that is the type of person I am. I'm going to be there for them regardless. I'm going to want to make them feel better, emotionally fulfill them regardless. But it feels, although I've never felt this way, I know it will feel good one day to know that regardless of that's like what I'm going to do, that it's not expected and something that is like expected of me and like take. It's something that's just appreciated. Ooh, I don't think I felt truly appreciated in a relationship. Which is crazy. Crazy revelation, guys. Crazy revelation. So yeah, I just want, like a lot of you can probably relate. I feel like I'm going all over the place with this video, but I know like my no experience I have is original, and I see that all the time when I tell my stories and talk about how I feel, that yeah, I want to just be happily experienced in a relationship. And I know that relationships are never going to be some fairy tale, nothing is ever wrong or something, but I want that to be like the root, the goal. Like, I just want to experience her and respect her and love her. And I naturally do those things back. Not, even in my last relationship, I've talked about, I feel like, trauma dating a man older than me. Like, y'all, I've talked about this in like a video before. Like, I had this insane 5 years older than me guy expecting so much when this man ain't even have his own place, ain't even have a license. Let me not even say what else he didn't have, because I could go on. But didn't have like so much, but was like, but when I get my place, I'm grown. Like, this is the point of my life where like we shouldn't be living in our way. Like, you should just like live with me. No. Like, when is that going? I need to be with a man for at least a year before I live with him. And I'm not gonna lie, even a year sounds kind of fast to me, but at the same time, the longest relationships I've ever been with is a year. Also, he was older than me, so he was closer to 30, talking about, I'm gonna have my first kid before 30. Like, I want kids so bad. Like, why are you like putting all these where I live, when I'm popping out a baby? Do you think you call all the shots for me on that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm so tired of dealing with these misogynistic bitches. And guys, this is why I am. This is why I am so angry and carefree and the mean Scorpio I am to this day, because I dealt with stuff like that. Like, come on now. Come on now. But yeah, I just want to be experienced in love. I don't want a man putting their internalized misogyny on me, putting timelines on me, putting their traumas on me. Like, and I don't expect like a perfect man, but yeah, like I want someone who wants to see me happy. I do want to be a mother one day. Someone who wants to uh do that with me when I want to. Why you need to know all up my pussy, boy? Like, I'm sorry. Like, I kind of think that's so crazy for like a man. Well, I'm not even sorry because that is crazy for a man who can't pop his pussy to be telling me when I need to pop mine for him. And mind you, we'd only been dating for 3 months. Like, oh, that's what I'm saying. Like, I look back and I'm like, girl, like, oh, I'm sick. I'm sick of it. But I will find it because, you know, as much as I talk about my views and dismantling the patriarchy and feminism and all these things, some discourse of like feminism and other girls looking out for each other that I see online that I'm not a fan of is like, you are gonna like, marriage doesn't benefit you at all. All men are going to do this. All men are going to do that. All men are. And while you know I'm a heavy believer, and it's a lot of them, but not all of them. Because like I said, I know wonderful men in real life. That way of thinking is kind of like the opposite of feminism and of how we should. Because at this point, even though I know a lot of men are harmful, a lot of men are misogynist, we know all these things, to believe that all of them are, and that like a lot of people are like, I'm gonna just settle for this, or I'm not even gonna date because this, it doesn't exist, is to believe that that does exist for you. Like, yeah, there is a man out there for me who's not weird. And I believe that. Like, I might have to dig through the trash can, but yes, there is a man out there that's going to be loyal, honest, check himself, sweet, kind, respectful. There is. Who gonna tell me there's not? Like that believing that there are good things and there is someone out there for me is where we should be going, instead of all of it is like this, so just blah blah blah. Like, actually no. Actually, great people, good things, and happy times are very, very attainable for you. Like, don't fall into that narrative, even though I know it's very easy to, because we see a lot of BS on the timeline. But yeah, I've been single since February of 2025. So it's been a little over a year. And when I say to in the past year, like February to February, I spoke about on my channel, was really cool for me. Like I was not that interested in relationships for a whole year. Like I said, after dealing with a crazy 5 years older than me man tell me when I was supposed to pop my, like what? Like I was like, woo, I'm free, like stress free. Like I was really up past year, not really thinking about relationships, but I'm human and I crave connection, I crave intimacy, I crave a life partner, companionship, as someone who is very alone most of the time. Like I be feeling FOMO sometimes, guys, like being 23 years old, seeing people have like friend groups and like they're out every weekend. Like although I do want to be more social, also, I am that person who genuinely does enjoy, like, I think going out every weekend would probably give me anxiety because I feel like I wouldn't have as much alone time. Like, there's all these things, right, that I've, like, focused on in the past year, like, really feeling calm, like, career-wise, community-wise, you know, just adulting, like, what are the next steps? But I am human. I do want companionship. I do want that person. Yeah. And it is a little sad to have gone through abuse and to have a lot of bad memories and to, okay, I had another relationship in between that and that was whack. And like, you know, like I kind of made a reel about it to know like going through bad things doesn't mean you won't go through bad things again. It doesn't mean you're not going to fall on hard times or ever be lonely. But I am a little lonely and would hope for some progression in that area of my life, but not like my other adult relationships. I'd rather be by myself than go through people who just expect so much of me. I've mentioned this in my podcast episodes before of like this analogy of this girl saying how she was that kid who was like very personable, had good grades a lot and stuff. And so people just naturally expected so much and high performance and kindness and stuff from her. I also feel like that. That I'm same. I'm the middle child. I had the most personality. I did good in school. I was good in sports. I had all these things. So not even just on a relationship level, I feel like a lot of people expect so much of me to be like that good person, that person who sets standard. And I want someone to release all expectations of me and see all of me. And is that too much to ask? It is for a lot of y'all because you don't have emotional intelligence. A lot of these people, but never giving up though. I feel like my mannerisms of stuff gives away so hard how I'm processing this in real time. But thank you guys for listening to another podcast episode. I hope I, made someone else feel seen. Here I go again with hoping to give it something to someone else. No, but for real, like I love finding community on here and again realizing nobody's experience is original. Okay? We're in here and don't settle and it'll come. Even though I hate hearing that sometimes. Okay, is it on its way but time will tell. Don't give up. I felt like giving up. Ooh. Like I talked about in some stuff I posted like on my TikTok. Trust me, I felt like giving up a lot in these past 3 years. Like recovering and feeling like I couldn't ever feel safe in my body, pleasure, be with someone who isn't abusive. Like I felt like giving up a lot. Feeling like I would always feel how I did when I was in the abusive relationship and when I was posted. But newsflash, I don't feel that way anymore. I don't feel that way anymore. So I can be patient with how I'm feeling right now too. And so can you with whatever is, rot in your head too. Thank you guys so much for listening to another podcast episode. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hype this video if you're here within the first week. And as always, I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye.